Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Animaecast. Today I'm doing another anime podcast video. So for those of you that are new, that haven't seen one of these before, I used to do podcast type videos on Twitch. I would do it live and I talk about the anime of that week, some of the highlights and lowlights, and I talk with everyone on Twitch, and then I'd export that video to my YouTube channel, and it was supposed to be like something you can listen to without necessarily having to watch all the time. So essentially a podcast. But then for the last couple of months, I've been having trouble streaming because of internet issues, which might be solved soon, because I saw that down my street they're digging like, I don't know, trenches or whatever, because they're installing like fiber cables. So eventually I'll be able to get fiber internet, and then I can stream. Yes. And it'll also make uploading videos so much better. So for today's anime podcast, by the way, I'm wearing a wig. I bought a Rem wig from a Rem cosplay a little while ago, and then I cut it a little bit. I made it shorter and I cut a little fringe so I can wear it whenever I want to for fun. But for today's anime podcast, number 12, I decided that I was going to make a list of my top 5 anime for every genre that I've watched a lot of anime in that genre, okay? So if you look here on my Annie list, there's a part here that says genre overview. So it shows you what anime in which genres I've watched the most of, something like that, okay? So I have 71 entries that was tagged as comedy, 59 entries that is tagged as drama, 45 entries that is tagged as action, 40 entries that is tagged as fantasy, 38 entries as adventure, and there's romance, and I think 1 or 2 others that I added because not all of them can fit on here. So because sometimes people do ask me to recommend anime for them, I decided to do a top 5 in each genre that I love, but I made some rules for myself, like I can only put one anime in one genre. Like sometimes something, for example, is romance but it's also drama, but I wasn't allowed to put it in both. So if I really liked it, I had to choose, what is it more for me? Was it more a drama or was it more a romance? Like, does it matter? Because, you know, sometimes something is a really good romance story. Like, here's a good example, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but just bear with me. Darling in the Franxx, for example, it's tagged as a mecha anime, but I wouldn't call it one of the best mecha anime out there. It is on one of these lists, so you can look through, and if you're interested in anything, I will make like in the pinned comment, I'll make like tags, like for top 5 comedy you can go there, top 5 romance you can go there. So if you just want to skip through and you're looking for a specific recommendation, you don't have to listen to the whole video. You can just go to the part where what you want to hear about. Okay, so just remember, if I put something in a certain category and you don't agree with, it shouldn't be in that category, it should be in that category. It's just my personal opinion. Like, I'll explain it more as I go along. So I'm going to list my top 5s in each genre, but I'll also say, I won't say any spoilers because obviously maybe you'll want to try something out, but I'll say like 1 or 2 things maybe that I really love about that anime and why I put it in that genre. So I'm also gonna probably search it here on Annie list, and then you can just see a picture or whatever. I don't know. Let me just open my list. Okay, so I'm starting with my top 5, the best anime in genre, top 5 comedy. So the first one, the number 1, my favorite comedy is an anime that I haven't even finished yet. I'm on episode 4 or something, but it stands out to me as the most hilarious comedy that I have ever watched, and it's called Grand Blue. So I'm just gonna read the little bit, like 2 lines of the what it's about. A new life begins for Kitahara Iori as he begins his college career near the ocean in Izu City, full of excitement for his new life. So a diving anime, but it's not a diving anime. And what I love about it is, one, the expressions are hilarious. The comedy is obviously, it's my number one like favorite comedy anime at the moment. And I haven't even, I think I'm on episode 4. And the other thing that I love about it is that the characters are all legal age. Like, they're not fucking 14, 16-year-olds. So to me, that's really great, because I'm like, sometimes I get a little bit tired of watching like 16-year-olds, because it's not always easy to relate to kids in high school. So I've been straying further and further away from anime about kids being in high school, because I don't relate to it. So this is really special for me, because it really is so funny, and it's the characters are really relatable in a lot of ways because of their age. Okay, so my second favorite comedy is Konosuba, and I'm sure that no one needs an introduction to Konosuba. It's really well known, but I love it because it really makes a mockery of the whole isekai genre in a way. The characters are each one is so funny in their own way. Like, they're so different from each other. So there's literally, it doesn't matter who you are, like, you'll find one of these characters hilarious. You'll latch on to one. So I think my favorite character in this is Aqua, and then Darkness, and then Kazuma, and then Megumin. I think most people love Megumin. Megumin is their favorite character, and there's nothing wrong with her, but it's just she's the least funny in my opinion. She's really cute, and she does obviously have funny moments, but my favorite character is Aqua. She's the most hilarious, and she's so cute also. Like, all the girls are really cute. Even Darkness is cute in her own way. If there is someone that hasn't watched this and they're interested, it's an isekai, but it's also like a parody, and it's very funny. You should watch it if you haven't watched it. Everyone has watched this. But sometimes if I don't know about you guys, sometimes if I feel like if something is too hyped up, you actually don't want to watch it. And then if you do force yourself to watch it, it can sometimes not live up to expectations, and then you actually like it less than you would have if you just went into it with no expectations. So if someone hasn't watched this and they do want to watch it, don't set your expectations too high. You know, it's popular, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily the greatest anime ever. So if you do want to watch it, I would definitely recommend it. But don't go in with too high expectations, because maybe you don't like it or find it very funny at all. But I think it's a light-hearted, silly kind of comedy. It's not like Grand Blue, for example, where the comedy is like, to me it feels like real up in your face. It's so funny. And the story is also kind of interesting. So it's not just all about comedy, it does have an interesting story too. Okay, so the third comedy on my top 5 comedy list is something that not everyone would necessarily, it wouldn't be comedy first for them, but for me it is Food Wars. And I almost wanted to put this over Konosuba, but because it's also, I also really like it for the characters and for its etchiness. That's why I didn't, like, it is obviously for me, what really stands out about this anime is its comedy, but it's third. I put it in third place. How do I even explain this anime? Like, someone suggested I watch this, and they explained the plot to me, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch an anime about food. No, how could that be that interesting? I'm not really that interested in food. I don't watch food shows, so no. And then why did I end up watching it? I don't even remember. Then someday I picked it up, and I didn't react to this. I just watched it on my own. I binge watched it. One of the very few anime that I binge watched, although most people wouldn't count it as binge watching, because I watched it over the course of a couple of like months, 3 months, 4 months. But there's like 3 or 4 seasons, so for me that was definitely binge watching. Like watching a season in a month, that to me that's a lot. And I really love this. The only season I didn't like, and then I didn't find all that funny or great in general, was the last arc / season. The last season was an arc, the train arc. I didn't really, wasn't as great for me, but the early seasons, especially the first one and the second, but the first one is my favorite, I think, and the second one and the both. But the way that they interpret the story is hilarious. The characters and their interaction with each other and the way that they express themselves through their cooking and stuff, you don't think it could be funny, but then it's so fucking hilarious. And I love the story too. I love the MC. I actually really miss this anime, and I'd love to rewatch it if I had time in the future, but there's so much anime I need to catch up with. Its genres is comedy and ecchi, and I think most people it would be more ecchi to them than comedy. I don't know how to say that. Ecchi, I'm not sure exactly. I think ecchi. This person says, Food Wars hits all the notes as a food battle shonen, but it won't appeal to those wanting a more serious experience. That's exactly it. Like, it's not necessarily, although I do feel like it does tell a really good story, but it utilizes comedy so well to draw you into, like, it's not a fighting anime battle. I'm so bad at explaining, but maybe that's the best. Maybe that's okay. Just, if you haven't watched this, don't let it's a food anime put you off. It's so funny, and if you're looking for something to laugh at, there will be so much for you to laugh at in this. To be honest, if I had to recommend one between Konosuba and Food Wars, I think I'd recommend Food Wars first. At least the first 2 seasons. And then you can go watch Konosuba. If you haven't, and the only, like, part of the reason why I say that is also because most people have already seen Konosuba. And it is funny. But this is something different. Like, it's so unique. Like, I've never seen, is there any other anime that is about food that is also hilarious? I don't think so. I've never heard, I have heard of many isekai that are funny though, but have I heard of a food anime that is so hilarious? No. And the characters are also awesome. The first opening was it the first opening or the first ending song that I really loved? I don't know, but it's great. Go watch it. My fourth favorite comedy is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. I should probably talk faster, or at least say less about each anime if I want to get through this video in an hour. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. This is one of the first anime that I started reacting to on my channel. I hope they bring out a second season. The funniest thing about this anime is the MC for me. Because, I don't want to, without saying too much, he's different from what he shows to the world, whereas like inside his head, and that friction caused between who he is and who he wants to be or wants to show the world he is makes for, you know, a lot of comedic moments, and it's a harem, so there's a lot of cute girls to fall in love with, but what stands out for me is definitely the comedy. There's also a good storyline to follow, I believe, because for me, I'm not the kind of person, like, it's hard for me to pay attention to something if there isn't also a good story, so most of my recommendations will generally have like this. It's a funny comedy, but it also will have a good story that you can latch onto, because otherwise, for me, comedy would be so... It's hard for me to laugh at something if I don't also see where it's going. But this is something I'd recommend if you like harems, if you like isekai, if you like comedy. And what makes it special is the hilarious MC, and what else would make, what would I say would make it special? I guess also the characters and their interactions. But that would be in any anime, really. Like, how do you tell jokes? You have to make the characters interact with each other. What else would I say makes... It's also kind of itchy. Oh my gosh. The itchiness with the MC and his expressions. Ooh, it's fun. It's funny. I would recommend it. Also isekai, so just take note of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Danmachi is also one of my favorite anime. It's not necessarily... It's number 5 on this list because it's not something that made me laugh out loud. Well, I did probably laugh out loud in every single episode, but I can't remember literally laughing, it had more light-hearted comedy. There were moments where I replayed scenes 5 times because it was so funny, but it is a more light-hearted comedy. It's not an isekai, even though it's tagged as an isekai for some reason. I think it gives you the feel of an isekai, and that's why it's tagged, because if you look on AniList, it shows you tags, isekai 97%, Neko Mimi 63%, Monster Girl 55%. So you know, if you're looking for something that's an isekai, this is 97% isekai. Whereas with Danmachi, let's quickly see Danmachi. Is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon? Did it load? Yes. It is marked as an isekai. Is it? Dungeon, shonen. Oh, it's not here anymore. Maybe they took it away. Action, adventure, comedy, fantasy, romance. I promise it was here. But it was a small percentage. So I think it just gives you the feel of an isekai. But it's not really. Adorable characters. MC is, for me, the most hilarious. I love him so much. There's definitely a waifu for each person. So it's kind of I think it's one of the anime that generates a lot of waifu wars, people fighting about who's the best girl and that kind of stuff. But it also has it has serious moments, more so than Grand Blue, Konosuba, Food Wars. Maybe Food Wars has a few serious moments, but more so than Grand Blue, Konosuba, and How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Danmachi definitely has some serious moments and a very progressive storyline, a very strong storyline. So it's definitely something you can watch if you're looking for something with more light-hearted comedy, but definite high funny moments, times when you're gonna want to rewind and rewatch scenes. But yeah, those are my top 5 comedy anime, my favorites. And I have an honorable mention, which is Haikyuu, which is also really funny. But for me, it's a sports anime. That's what stands out about it, and it has a really good story. It's not necessarily what stands out about it. I don't think this is a comedy anime, but it has a lot of great comedic moments, and that's why I put it as an honorable mention. So these are my top 5 recommendations, including Haikyuu. If you're interested in something funny, but not necessarily just comedy, that's comedy and sports, which I would recommend. And also Danmachi, if you're not necessarily looking for something that's just about the funny, Danmachi is better because it also has a really good storyline. But the other 4, I think, is mostly watch it if you're looking to laugh a lot at characters, at misunderstandings, at the way that the characters express themselves. Especially Grand Blue and Food Wars are really interesting in terms of how the characters portray themselves, I think, if that's a good way to explain it. Okay, so next we're going from comedy to top 5 drama. The first one being Nyaa. Oh my god, this anime traumatized me. I would never watch it again. Never, ever, ever. Never watch it again. Never read it again, because I don't necessarily like making myself sad. I hate it, actually. I like drama anime in general because usually it has a good ending, at least. Something that gives you closure. Something that, I don't know, most drama has good moments and bad moments, and this is just, to me, there are some good moments, but overall it's just sad. It's just, you hate that things work out for everyone this way, and I really will never read or watch it again. The manga is 10 times better than the anime. Not 10 times better, 5 times better. Especially concerning the ending. The manga has never been finished. The mangaka took like a hiatus, and she's never unhiatused. I'm not sure if she's sick or anything, but in my honest opinion, they can leave it like that. It doesn't need an ending. You can fill in the gaps for yourself. The ending to me is fine. Sorry, my lipstick looked like it wasn't looking right anymore. I think the manga can end that way. The sad part is that the anime did something very different. It's just the last episode. I don't know what the fuck. No. I don't know. Now I don't even remember what it is, to be honest. But I just remember that I hated it. And that's why I started reading the manga. And then I read past where the anime ends, and I was like, oh my god, this is so much better. But it's not better in a happier sense. It's just better. So to me, watch the anime if you don't want to read the manga, but just know that the ending isn't. It's like, I don't know, they just try to close it off quickly and then just no. But don't expect happiness, just sadness. Drama and a broken heart afterwards. Okay, that is my number 1 drama. Second favorite drama is Violet Evergarden. Seriously, please, people, if you want to watch a drama, this is so good. Let me just read some of the tags. Female protagonist, banned. Primarily adult cast. That's something I really like about it. Love triangle, age gap, coming of age, shoujo, and there is a spoiler tag, but I can't spoil myself, so let me just quickly see what the spoiler tag is. Oh, okay, yes. I'm not going to tell you that. Just seriously go watch it. Next is Violet Evergarden. Most people have probably heard about this. I watched this live on Twitch with a lot of people. Auto Memories Doll. It's been quite a while since that name caused a fuss. Originally invented by Professor Orland solely for his beloved wife, Auto Memories dolls eventually spread out into the world, and a machine that allows people to rent out the dolls was also created. I will run as fast as I can to wherever my customer desires. I am the Auto Memories doll, Violet Evergarden. A girl who almost appears to have popped out of a fairy tale with her blonde hair and blue eyes said this with her inorganic beauty and sweet voice. I don't think that does it justice, to be honest. Tags: rehabilitation, tragedy, female protagonist, war, episodic, steampunk, military, work. So the episodicness of this anime really makes it stand out a lot for me. Episodic means features story arcs that are loosely tied or lack an overarching plot. So there's not necessarily, you know how a lot of stories, they have a clear beginning and a clear end, and the whole story progresses towards that end. This doesn't do that. It has an overarching feature story arcs that are loosely tied. So it's not achronological, so you can tell it goes towards an end and everything. But it doesn't necessarily, I don't know. Google what episodic means. Have you ever watched another episodic anime? Other examples include Cowboy Bebop, Mushishi, Gintama, Katanagatari, Kaguya-sama. Those are other episodic animes. So, what makes Violet Evergarden special is, its visuals. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. And it's episodic, so there's different kind of stories within the story. That's a good way to explain it. But it all features, Violet and some other characters. And each story just draws you in so much and is so beautifully told. And it's just the beauty of this anime is what makes it so special. But it has its sad moments. I didn't cry. But is my second favorite drama, and I would highly recommend this anime if you haven't already watched it, because as far as I know, it's very popular. Top 5 drama, number 3, Angel Beats. Oh my god, I cried at the, oh my god. Oh, okay, this is a difficult one, okay? So I think a lot of people, won't maybe, it's definitely a drama. And for me, that is the strongest, like, it has a lot of comedy in it though. And it's kind of like slapstick comedy, which I think puts people off a little, some people. But I think that is actually brilliant because it contrasts so well with the topic that it deals with. So that contrast, the starkness between the slapstick comedy and the actual severity of the events and the people that it deals with in the anime, that is actually so much more interesting, you know? It gives it so much depth. So for me, there were times when I was like, what the heck am I watching? But then the highs of the anime and the actual essence of it is so strong. Like even if you're a person that doesn't necessarily like slapstick comedy, like me, I don't always get slapstick comedy. But it's still my third favorite drama because of that aspect of it. The storyline, the feels that it gives you. It's so good. My favorite episodes was the 3rd episode. Let me just go here on my profile, anime list. Angel Beats is first. Angel, there we go. Episode 3 was my favorite episode. I'm really happy I watched Hell's Kitchen, the OVA, before this episode, as I think it really added to my experience. Episode 5 was the funniest. Episode 9 was another amazing one. Probably the best of the season thus far. I love the message of the anime so much. Episode 10 is in my top 5 best anime episodes ever. And then episode 13 takes the spot of episode 10 in my top 5. You see how it just, like, there's some episodes where you're just like, what the heck am I watching? But then the standout episodes, they're so fucking good. You have to watch this. I would recommend this. Probably most people have watched Violet Evergarden. Nana is like, I wouldn't even recommend it to someone because it's gonna hurt you too much. Like if you enjoy, because obviously there's some things that some people just won't like because they don't like, maybe because that anime, for example, is about a band and it's very slice of life too, a little. So, and it's a little bit shoujo, I don't know how to say that. So maybe guys wouldn't like that. But I feel like even guys would like Angel Beats. So this is like highly recommended from me. And if there's moments when you feel like, why the fuck, I'm just gonna drop it. Don't. Just keep watching, okay? I really recommend it. Okay, so next, top 5 drama, number 4, The Promised Neverland. The Promised Neverland. This was came out this year. I think it's very good, even though it's about kids, which usually would maybe put me off a little, but this didn't, because I feel like the anime and the story is going to go really far. So starting the kids off quite young is a smart idea because they could grow so much. Emma, Norman, and Ray are the brightest kids at the Gracefield House Orphanage, and under the care of the woman they refer to as Mom, all the kids have enjoyed a comfortable life. Good food, clean clothes, and the perfect environment to learn. What more could an orphan ask for? One day, though, Emma and Norman uncover the dark truth of the outside world they are forbidden from seeing. So, I don't want to say too much about this because you just need to see the first episode to understand what it's all about. It is not necessarily sad, although there are obviously some sad moments, and like a sad undertone to some events, but overall it still gives you that drama feel, that it's dramatic, you know, and its pace is a little bit slow. At some points you can feel that, but when I reached the end and I looked back, I actually thought, okay, no, the pacing is actually good. It's perfect for the anime. Sad that the first season only had 12 episodes. I feel like it's one of those anime that could have really done it in 24 episodes and given us so much more. but I'm patient. I think the next season comes out next year. So yes, do watch this. I'm quickly going to see, because I see there's 4 spoiler tags, so I just quickly want to see. Okay. I don't think that's necessarily spoiler, but okay. That's also, I don't think that's spoiler at all. But the tags that are not spoiler is primarily child cast, shonen, female protagonist, tragedy, coming of age, male protagonist. So see, female protagonist is 71%, male protagonist is 55%, athletics is 37%, and then there's a little bit of CGI in there, but it is not necessarily, it's not bad CGI, because I associate, when I see something has a lot of CGI, I'm just like, nah, no, but that's okay. That's the CGI I could deal with. Okay, next up is top 5 drama, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Dororo. Dororo is actually probably my favorite anime of the year. Probably, yes. At least I gave it my number 1 anime spot over Attack on Titan for like because I felt like it deserved that honorary spot. So I know it's at number 5 on my top 5 drama, but it's because it's not necessarily like, it definitely is a drama, like it's tagged in the drama genre, action, adventure, drama, supernatural. But for me, I put it 5th because it didn't always feel like a drama. It felt more like action, adventure, supernatural. The supernatural side of it is very strong. But if you look at the overall story, the drama aspect of it is like, I felt I would recommend this more as a drama than an action or an adventure. I don't know how to explain all of this. I don't have a supernatural category because I haven't watched enough supernatural anime, so I decided to put this as my 5th recommended in the drama category, because I think some people didn't enjoy it because, you know, it wasn't what they expected. Maybe they expected more action and adventure, whereas I think it really has a deep storyline and a deep philosophy to it through the stories that it tells. It's also, in my opinion, an episodic. Let's see if it has that tag. Yes, it does. 60% episodic. Demon, samurai, swordplay, war, male protagonist, historical. I don't think it can deal with these kinds of genres tags if it, like, you know, it's gonna war. You know, it's gonna be a dramatic storyline. People that go through that kind of stuff, there's gonna be, because drama doesn't always mean sad. It doesn't have to be sad, but you know that people that a story that deals with stuff like that, there's gonna be drama. And I don't mean like drama, but you know, drama. And I feel like if you're looking for something like that, this is the perfect story. And it what makes its drama, what gives it depth, is the philosophy behind it. And that's what I feel really makes the story stand out for me. So I recommend it if you're looking for something in the drama category. Honorable mention, Death Note. I don't know if people would consider Death Note a drama, but I do, and it is in my honorable mention. But most people have seen Death Note, so. It's tagged mystery, psychological, supernatural, and thriller. It's not tagged in the drama. Well, I feel like to me, it's a drama. And I would recommend it if you're looking for something in the drama category, but also like psychological. I should have maybe put this in the psychological, because I have a psychological category, but no. To me, this is a drama. Mystery, drama, psychological. That's to me is what sums up Death Note. But like I said, most of you have seen it, so. It's one of the first anime also that I reacted to. And it is one of those kind of legendary anime. I feel like that's why I said I think most people have seen this. Okay, next. Top 5 romance. So right now I haven't finished this, but Fruits Basket. I haven't. Let's think for a moment. Romance. This is a hard category for me because I don't feel like I've ever watched an anime where the romance is really the like I've never had have I ever watched a 10-star romance? I mean a 5-star romance. I don't know. I must have a list here of some of my favorite anime. Tumblr, top anime. I have a okay, those are character favorites. Top favorite anime list. Here we go. Dororo, Attack on Titan, ReZero, Oran High School Host Club, Welcome to the Ballroom, Violet Evergarden, Bleach, Eureka 7, and Rising of the Shield Hero, One Piece, Fairy Tail. I feel like I've never had an anime that with maybe some of you can recommend a romance to me that is like the ultimate romance or something, because these are my recommendations and they're good. The romance is lovely in them, but I don't know, maybe I've just never seen the ultimate romance anime. But anyway, so Fruits Basket is Fruits Basket, and I recommend this even though I have not finished it. I haven't watched the real original Fruits Basket, and this is not the one I recommend. This is the one I recommend because the storytelling is beautiful, the visuals are beautiful, the characters are beautiful, and also I know how it ends. I was spoiled, so I kind of feel like it will be on my list, and it's already like one of my favorites. So with taking the end into consideration, I feel like this is my favorite romance because I've watched a lot of it. I know where it's going, and I'm taking into consideration what I've already seen to where it's going. It will probably be my #1 favorite romance anime, so I'm putting it on the list now. It's very good. It also has some drama aspects to it, very dark moments, which I think gives it more depth. So yes, this is my #1 recommended romance. Second #1 recommended romance is Darling in the Franxx, which I talked about at the beginning of this video. I said that, some people I think went into it with different expectations. Darling in the Franxx. Like they expected it to be action, mecha, dystopian. But really it is just a very beautiful romance with some mecha and sci-fi and action. But it's first and foremost, to me at least, it's a romance. And that's what makes the story good. You have to want to watch a romance to watch this because that is what comes to the forefront. And that's the biggest part of the story, in my opinion. There is still a post-apocalyptic... Like, let's put it this way. If we look at the tags, for example, post-apocalyptic is 85%. Coming of age, 84%. Dystopian, 83%. Monster Girl, 74%. Military, 61%. Politics, 42%. But romance would be 100%. That is how it would work. There's some spoiler tags. So let me just see this. Okay. A lot of people weren't happy with the ending. I was perfectly happy with it. I think it was beautiful. And a lot of people gave this anime like a lot of hate because I think it wasn't what they expected. They probably expected, more mecha and stuff. And also, it was very popular at the time that it was coming out. So usually an anime that's very popular and is gaining a lot of attention, there will automatically be people that strongly dislike it just because it's popular. So they used whatever small things they didn't like about it, or they were angry that it didn't deliver what they expected or wanted it to deliver. So then that's why I think it did get a lot of hate. But truly it's a beautiful romance story, and 02 is like, there's a reason why she's like the most popular anime girl of like the last year or two. Okay, third favorite romance is Bunny Girl Senpai. It has one of my favorite confessions. Bunny Girl Senpai. The confession is always a very it's called Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. The confession is always a big thing in anime, and it usually happens, you know, at the end of a love story or whatever, but this is a bit unique where it happens a bit earlier. I won't say where exactly. It also, someone described it as quantum physics but a love story. Quantum theory but a love story, something like that, and it's so perfect. It really, it's such a unique story. And I think the only thing that maybe I would critique it has that harem feel. So I would like a little bit more romance between the actual people, two main people, but and that's why it's third and not second, because I would like a little bit more romance between the main characters. But it's still such a great story, and the couple is so different from anime couples that I'm used to. I felt like it was a really special one, and yeah, it's a good romance. Fourth for me is Ouran High School Hosts Club, which most people would probably mark, and it was on my comedy list first, but then I was like, do I really love it this much just because of the comedy, or do I love it this much because of the romance aspect of it, and then there's great comedy? And then I decided, to me, this is more, and I've read the manga too, so I know where the story is going, so that's also what I took into consideration. There should be a season 2 coming out at some point. I think they should actually remake this, like they remade Fruits Basket. I think this deserves a remake, but it also deserves an actual just continuation. So they don't have to remake the first season because it's really great. And I think Fruits Basket might have been remade because the art style of the first one wasn't that great, whereas this is actually great. So if they didn't make a remake of the first season, I wouldn't care, but they really need to make a continuation, because knowing what I know from the manga, the story is so freaking good. The romance in it is so freaking good. I want to put this third, but the actual fact is it takes a little bit longer for the romance to actually develop, and it is very strong comedy as well, so that's why it'll stay fourth. Okay. I love this though. I sometimes feel like this is one of the only anime that I've watched like 3 or 4 times. No, 2 or 3 times. Yes. I don't rewatch anime a lot because I feel like I don't have time and there's so much anime for me to still watch. But this I've watched more than once. So, Ouran High School Host Club. Okay, the fifth favorite romance is Ao Haru Ride, Blue Spring Ride. I prefer, okay, let me just say, the honorable mention is Kimi ni Todoke, which is From Me to You. The anime, I prefer Blue Spring Ride in terms of romance. The manga, I prefer From Me to You, Kimi ni Todoke. So if this was based on the manga as well, I would have put Kimi ni Todoke as 5th and Blue Spring Ride as the honorable mention. But based just on the anime, if you're not a manga reader, I would watch Blue Spring Ride first, because Kimi ni Todoke has a 2nd season, which I was not a big fan of. It's very different than the manga. But this is beautiful. It has very beautiful visuals, but it is a very typical shoujo romance slice of life. But it's beautiful, and it's really a nice story. It's so wholesome, in a sense. Yes, it's very plain. It's very kind of like something that you just kind of want to enjoy. You don't want to think too much. You just want to kind of see 2 characters like each other, and do they end up together? I don't know. You'll have to find out. But let me just say, it's not in the drama category. So, but I actually really don't remember how it ends. Like I recently read oh my god, if this was an anime, I would have put it on here. I recently finished watching Akuma to Love Song. Oh my god, this is, where is it? a devil and her love song. Well, now I'm just gonna have to, because I finished it and it will be here. Manga list, Akuma to love song. This needs to be turned into an anime. Oh my god. But it would be my number one drama. No, it would probably be my number one drama and my number one romance. And the ending is so like, it's one of my favorite endings, not because it makes me happy. It's so realistic, and anyone would be like, it's sorry, some people would hate it because it's not, they end up together. It's like, it's very open-ended, so you can kind of interpret it how you wish, which I think is smart, because then you can fill in the gaps for yourself. But this needs to be turned into an anime. How do I do that? Who do I ask? Who do I tweet? What petition do I start? But this is really good. Okay, but anyway, so those are my top 5 romance. Blue Spring Ride and Kimi ni Todoke. Recap: Kimi ni Todoke, From Me to You, the manga over the anime, but Blue Spring Ride anime over the manga. Have I read the manga? I don't know. But it probably not, because I like the anime. So usually I only read the manga if the anime ends in a way that I don't like, and then I go over and read the real ending. But if you specifically are looking for a manga recommendation and you want a drama or romance, this is a great story, and the art style is also very beautiful. I hope they make an anime of this. Damn it. Okay, top 5 action. I still have action, adventure, slice of life, psychological. Okay, so let me just quickly check something. I just want to post this. This is my reaction to Tokyo Ghoul Season 2, Episode 3. Just post it here. That is not correct. Copy. There we go. Publish now. And then I just want to put it here on my full notes. Sorry guys. Dr. Stone, Haikyuu. Episode 3 of Tokyo Ghoul. There. And paste without formatting. Ta-da! Is that fine? Yes. Okay, now back to top 5 action. Favorite one is Attack on Titan. Probably there is no one that hasn't heard of Attack on Titan, so I'm not going to explain too much, but this is my favorite action. Most recommended if you're looking for good fights, a great story. Especially the 3rd season, the animation of part 1 and 2. So hype, so good, so much action, so much, you know, moments when you want to like bang the table, and like it gives you that feeling. So this is my highest recommended action. If you haven't watched it and you're looking for an action anime, this is my most recommended. Second, which is not a popular anime, I think, because I never heard about this before, and it should be talked about a lot more. Drifters. So fucking good. The story is fucking brilliant. The action is great. This story centers around the story centers around Shimatsu Toyohisa, the real life. Oh wait, I'm not gonna read you. Don't read this. Don't read it, because just watch it. Seriously, if you're looking for a good action story, action anime, just start this. Don't read what it's about, because I didn't, and I was so blown away. So I'm not going to say anything about it, because I went into this, it's a requested anime. I'm only on episode 8, by the way. It's an anime that was requested for full reactions by one of my level 5 patrons, and I went into it blind, and I was blown away, and I keep being blown away by how good the story is. If you're a history buff, even more reason to watch it, and that's all I'm going to say. So let me just get this back. My Hero Academia. I'm also not going to say too much about that, because everyone knows My Hero Academia, and it is, for me, a lot of people really love the story and the characters, and A lot of people get really heated when I say, like, for example, that I like Bakugo, because they watch it in a more serious sense. Like, I watch, for example, Attack on Titan. I'm very invested in Attack on Titan, whereas My Hero Academia is, to me, is just an action. Like, I just enjoy the fights and the becoming a hero, and, like, to me, I don't really look at it very in depth. I'm not very invested in the story. I'm literally just there for the action and the fun of it. And that's just a personal way. That's how I watch the anime. So what was I saying specifically about? Because, like, Attack on Titan, I'm invested and the action is great. Drifters as well, I'm quite invested and the action is phenomenal. My Hero Academia is exciting. The fights are exciting. Like, it's Deku versus Kachan. Like, it's such an exciting story to me, and the action is really great. The animation as well. The hype, like, it really is good at building hype and stuff. But other people are more invested in the story than me, compared to me. So that's why I think it's actually a great recommendation, because maybe you'll be more invested in the story if you're not already watching it. But I'm not that invested because also it's also a high school. It's like kids. And I know that doesn't really take away from the fact, like, of what they're going through and stuff. Really doesn't. But it's hard to relate to the characters because they're, like, younger. So I like anime with a little bit more, maybe just older characters, or at least one or two characters that I can really relate to. Whereas for me, the reason I'm not invested in My Hero Academia is because I don't really relate to any of the characters. I don't feel like I'm there with them. I'm here, I'm a viewer, I'm enjoying it. It's hype, it's exciting, the action is great. So that's how I recommend it. But I know that there are a lot of people that are really invested in it, into the characters and the story. So maybe more reason to watch it. Top 5 action, number 1, 2, 3, 4. One Punch Man, season 1. Season 2, less action but still good. But once again, this is probably something most people have seen because it's also very popular. But that doesn't mean, like, I didn't want to just recommend things that aren't popular, because there are really some people that haven't watched some of these, and if you're looking for an action and you haven't seen One Punch Man, then you definitely need to watch it. My boyfriend actually started watching One Punch Man, but he hasn't watched the last 2 episodes. So I'm really looking forward to for him to watch more, and he actually recommended it to his brother who's never seen anime. So now he downloaded everything for his brother to watch. So maybe there will be some people, like I said, that hasn't seen it. So I definitely still want to recommend it. It's a very, I think it's marked possibly as shonen, but I think it should be marked as a seinen. Let's quickly see. I like it because the characters are a little more relatable for someone like me that's a bit older. Oh, it is 64% seinen. Action, comedy, sci-fi, supernatural. Superpower, superhero, parody, male protagonist, surreal comedy, seinen, aliens, primarily adult cast. See, I like primarily adult cast. Oh, you guys can't see. I like it when an anime is tagged as primarily adult cast. And what I really love about One Punch Man is that it's a parody, but it also isn't just a parody. It parodies superhero stories and stuff, but it's also such a fucking good story in and of itself. So I don't think season 2 was the best, but it was still, the story was still there, it was still good. So I would like to pick up the manga or webcomic or whatever one day. And season 1 has some of my favorite fights in anime ever. So highly recommended. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th is Bleach, which I'm not going to talk too much about because also very popular. But my honorable mention, I do want to talk about, is Princess Principal, which I'm going to read it to you, what it's about. But don't kick it before you've tried it, because if you're an action junkie or whatever, you've probably not seen Princess Principal because of what it sounds like it's about. and if you're an action person that loves action, you've probably seen Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, Bleach, which also for me Bleach is it's about the fights. Like the storyline isn't even always there, but the fights are so hyped. I mean, it's not to say that it doesn't have a good storyline, but for me Bleach is really about the action and the fighting and this person versus this person, like but Princess Principal has some really great action scenes and stuff. It's not about this person versus this person. It's not that kind of, it doesn't have those moments what that to me is stand out in action animes when it hypes these fights between people, specific characters, like One Punch Man versus Genos, Deku versus Kachan, Levi versus the Beast Titan. Like there's these moments. But Drifters, for example, just has fucking good action in it, and Princess Principal also. It's a good action. The spy action series follows 5 girls in the 19th century London, a city within the Albion Kingdom, divided into east and west by a large wall. The girls serve as undercover spies enrolled as students at the prestigious Queen's Mayfair School. The girls make use of their individual abilities to remain active in the underground world of disguise, espionage, infiltration, and car chases. It is really a good story. The action in it, like I said again, don't expect Ichigo versus what's that guy's name, like Ukiura or whatever. Not those kind of versus, you know, what are those games? Tekken, is it Tekken, like KO, like those kinds of fights. You don't get those kinds of fights, but the action is still, and the animation, what they, like the card chases and stuff, it's a really good story. It's a really, you'll get your action fix in it. So I would recommend this. Like, it's not for people who like, you know, those typical shonen. It's not a shonen with shonen fights, but it is a good story with good action. So I still highly recommend Princess Principal. And don't let the name put you off. It's got some sentimental aspects in some of the episodes. Let me just quickly see. I watched it recently. So maybe that's not for everyone, like, but once again, it's a really good story. It's a really good action. A, B, C, D, P, 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 Princess. Here we go. It's also achronological. The first episode, okay, 5th episode. My favorites were the 5th episode, the 6th episode, 7th, 8th, 10th. There's so many good episodes in this. I would really recommend it. It was a sponsored reactions by LT Norm X on Twitter, Bjorn. So yeah, if you're looking for an action but also a very good story, I would recommend this. Top 5 adventure anime. My favorite adventure anime is One Piece. It gives me that feeling of I'm going on an adventure. It's like, to me, it's easily, hands down, the best adventure anime I've ever seen. I know that some people probably, what else is it marked? One Piece. Too many characters. How do I action, adventure, comedy, drama, fantasy. So maybe some people would see it as an action, fuck. I'm too curious about faces and pictures. Maybe some people would see it as action, maybe some people would see it as fantasy, but for me it is the pinnacle of adventure anime, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. If you're looking for a great adventure which will never end, One Piece. Next is ReZero. Oh, I thought this was okay, but still, don't look. ReZero. Wait, how do I do this? ReZero. Maybe some people won't see this as an adventure, because it does have some other strong themes, genres. It's action, drama, fantasy, psychological adventure. So the psychological aspect of it is very strong. Drama and fantasy is very strong. There are some hints of action, but for me, this is a standout. Like, it makes me feel like an adventure for me is like when an adventure anime or a good adventure story for me is when it made me feel like I just had a great adventure after watching. Like I just went on this whole journey with this character, and for me that's what this was. It is also very harsh. Like there was times when my heart was like torn out of my chest. Some great characters. A lot of people have probably already also watched this, but if you haven't, if you're looking for like a fun adventure but with some stark drama, like pain, I felt physical pain, and this is a really good story. Yeah. Okay. Rising of the Shield Hero. This is also came out this year. Rising of the Shield Hero. Great. Once again, it felt like I went on this journey with them. Like for me, an adventure anime makes me feel like I want to make a character, like my own what OC original character, and I want to relive this story and put myself in it so that I can adventure with these characters. I want to go through the story with these characters. That to me is what marks something in my mind as a good adventure story, anime story. When I was younger, and I've told the story a few times, but for those of you that may not have heard it, I used to read a lot of books. Like I was very introverted, especially in primary school and the first part of high school and then after high school. But anyway, I read a lot of books, and what I would do is I would go in a holiday season. I would go get a lot of books from the library. I'd come home. I'd read, and especially with Harry Potter books, I'd read like 1 or 2 chapters, close the book, go sit, hide in the cupboard on top of all in the closet, and on top of all my shoes. All the dresses and coats were hanging above me, and I'd like sit like with my knees against my chest and like lie on my arms, and I'd reimagine what I just read and put myself in that story as a new character, and I'd relive that same story, but I would alter it in such a way to incorporate my own character. And that to me is what makes a good adventure story, and that's what I want to do with One Piece, what I want to do with ReZero, what I want to do with the Rising of the Shield Hero. I want to put myself in that story, but I want to create my own character and relive this again and again, this whole story, but just I want to add my own character into it. That's a good adventure to me. Okay, so those are the top 3. Eureka 7, also a really good adventure, but it also has some strong notes of Eureka 7, strong notes of romance in it, but to me it was more about the adventure, and once again I want to relive the story but be in it. It's very good. Adventure, drama, mecha. It's also a very good mecha anime. Romance and sci-fi. There's also some good philosophical themes that is addressed, and that's very interesting, but you don't have to, like, it doesn't force it down your throat to think about it. War, shonen, military, ships, coming of age. The MC, I think not a lot of people would like the MC, but Holland, another main character, he would make up for you not liking Renton, for example. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th favorite adventure anime is Fairy Tail. I don't think it needs to be explained. I think it is a very fun story with a lot of fun characters that I definitely would love I'd love to be in that world and live that life. And you know, it doesn't, Fairy Tail could actually have gone on for longer than it did. I think the final season was a bit ruined, the anime, if I had to be honest. But it's okay, because you know, not everything can go on for so long. But I feel like it could have gone on for longer. The story had so much potential, and the characters had so much potential, and I think it's an awesome adventure. The earlier seasons I loved, and this final season I'm enjoying. I just feel like it could have been done so much better. But yes, Fairy Tail's awesome, regardless of all the hate it gets. People treat it like they get mad because, oh, how did that character not die? It's so stupid. Plot armor, blah, blah, blah. It's a fucking shonen. Main characters are not gonna die. Not even main characters die in Attack on Titan. Like, it's a shonen. Okay, So I don't have a highly recommended, an honorable mention in adventure. Those are my top 5. Top 5 slice of life. My first is Wotakoi. Wotakoi, the story centers around the awkward romantic comedy between Narumi, a female office worker who hides her fujoshi lifestyle, and Hirotaka, a handsome and capable company man who is secretly a game otaku. The characters are fun, the interactions are fun, the episodes are fun. It's just such a nice, and it's so relatable to otaku people. Even though I still have so much to learn before I can, like, I would consider myself like an 80% otaku. I still have so much legendary anime to get through before I feel like I can call myself a real honorable otaku. But yes, I think I would recommend, if you're in the mood for a slice of life, this is the first one that I recommend because it's fun and funny and relatable, and I hope that it gets a second season. Really, really, really. Second is Dagashi Kashi. There's 2 seasons. I actually like the Dagashi Kashi. I actually like the second season more than I like the first, but I don't know if you like the MC in season 1, you might not like season 2 because the MC, this girl, Hotaru, she hardly shows up in season 2, but I liked some of these side characters more. So, well, technically they're all marked as main. It's such a short, enjoyable thing, so few characters really, that they're kind of all apparently labeled as main, I see here. But the first season focuses a lot on her, and she's an awesome character, really fun. And the second season is not really about her. So that's why I think for some people, maybe the second season threw them off, I don't know. But I absolutely love this. I used to watch this while I was eating, because it's a Dagashi Kashi is about Shikada Kokonotsu. His father owns a rural sweet shop, and his plan for Kokonotsu is to take it over one day. So every episode focuses on like a couple of sweets, and it explains the history behind that sweet, and the characters interact around learning about these sweets, and it's so cute and funny. But I used to have fun, whenever I had a break from editing videos and I'd have lunch or whatever, I'd put this on and I'd watch it while I eat. It's fun and cute. And the second season takes the story a bit further, but then Hotaru isn't there. But I didn't mind, because then I got to see more of another character that I really liked. And this character here, Saya. I really love her. So it has a low rating. It has a 64% average score, which I think is sad. I would give this I think I gave it an 8. For what it is, it's a comedy and slice of life. It definitely deserves an 8 out of 10, not a 6.4. It's so sad. 84% food, 66% rural, 60% economics, centers around the field of economics. I don't know why. I don't even know how. No, I don't know. Work, 60%, educational, 60%, shonen, 50%. I just don't know why it has the economics tag, but okay. Maybe I just don't know what economics is. Lesser element. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened to, Danmachi and the isekai tag. Maybe people marked it not relevant and then it got taken off. But I think it should be on there, like 20% isekai, only because it gives you the feel of an isekai. I don't know. Because then if you're looking for something, like if you're looking for an isekai and you've already watched all the isekai, I think that would be a good thing to watch. I see here Diego has watched it, gave it an 8 out of 10. Emmitt has watched it, 8 out of 10. Adam has watched it, 8 out of 10, and my friend Joey watched it but didn't give it a score. So I really think this deserves an 8 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I can mark it. Oh, and then so we can go and like, now it went from 66% to 60% rural because I marked it as not like a minor element. So, okay, interesting. Okay, so definitely would recommend. if you like something like that. Lucky Star is one of the first anime I ever watched, and it's about cute girls doing cute things, and one of them is an otaku, and they're in high school, and the first episode is literally for like 10 minutes. They talk about how to eat a chocolate cornet, one of those things. Is so slice of lifey. It's so random. It's so cute. If you just want to kind of just watch, you don't even want to think. There's no storyline. It's not going anywhere. It's just cute girls doing cute things. I love it. It's so fun. 74%. Wait. Genres, comedy and slice of life. 74%. Okay, if you say so. I marked it as I scored it as an 8.8 out of 10. Passy scored it a 10 out of 10. There were definitely some episodes where like I just skipped through a bit because it's a 4-koma, a manga in the yonkoma format, which consists of 4 equal-sized panels arranged in a vertical strip. Oh, okay. Parody features deliberate exaggeration of popular tropes or particular genre to comedic effect. I don't feel like, what is it parody? What is it parody? Can someone explain to me? 83% parody? I don't really think it parodies anything, to be honest, but it definitely is funny. It definitely is a cute slice of life. If you're looking for cute girls doing cute things, talking about food, playing games, doing general life things, watch it. It's great. Fourth favorite slice of life anime is Paradise Kiss. It's got a very good storyline, so it's not like Lucky Star and Dagashi Kashi or Wotakoi, where it's kind of just like people doing regular things and they're interesting and funny, and this is more like centered around fashion. So this wouldn't appeal to everyone, but I didn't want to put it here because it's so interesting to look at, even if you're not into fashion. Like it's slice of life because it's everyday people doing everyday things, trying to get by in school, trying to make a living for themselves. Like it's not it could be a true story. That's what I'm trying to say. So it is very slice of lifey, but it does center around people with a specific interest, which is fashion. So Yukari is a typical high school student who listens to her parents and attends school every day. As she starts to question her way of life, she encounters a group of fashion design students who have a clothing label known as Paradise Kiss. The group needs to find a model to showcase their designs in an up-and-coming fashion show and decides to pick Yukari. Initially, she's reluctant. That's pretty much all you need to know. I just wanted to give you a little taste of how it's kind of brought together. But it's especially good for like someone who I really related to the story at some point, because she was just kind of getting by in school, listening to what her parents told her, what her mom wanted, she kind of just did. And this is kind of about finding herself and finding her passion, but in a very low-key way. So I think it's a very, how do I explain it, effective slice of life with a strong hint of fashion, but still slice of life. And it's got a 74% average score, so I think a lot of people like this. I saw Miki watch this. She gave it an 8.7. I gave it an 8.8. Maya and Olivia Nesan also watched. Oh no, Olivia Nesan dropped it. It's Josei. Target demographic is adult females. Fashion centers around the fashion industry. Female protagonist. Ensemble cast, and it does tackle some addresses themes of LGBTQ experiences and identity, such as characters questioning their sexuality or gender identity, coming out to friends and family, and dealing with prejudice. I don't think it necessarily. I should actually read the manga of this. I'd love to, because I think it would probably be more prominent in there. But it doesn't. It's just a hint of it. Wait, how much percentage? 40%. Yes, I think that's fair. And the studio is Madhouse, so you can definitely expect some beautiful scenes and art and interesting characters, and Yeah, I would recommend this to almost all girls that are into anime, definitely. Guys, you'd have to be like, how do I put this? I don't think this is some masculine guys probably wouldn't really be into this. But if you're like if you're bi, if you're gay, if you're at all in touch with your feminine side, and you're in the mood for a slice of life, and it has some cool characters, like George is an interesting character, but Arashi is I think Arashi would be the only guy that a masculine guy would be able to relate with in the anime. But yeah, this is not something for very masculine guys. Like, you wouldn't necessarily like this. So I would rather recommend to you Wotakoi, maybe Dagashi Kashi, because it has some ecchi in there. Even Lucky Star is you'd prefer Lucky Star more than Paradise Kiss, because you'd kind of be able to dabble in your feminine energy without having to, because some guys can't even carry a handbag, and then they're like, no, what? Sorry, my masculine boy impression is really bad. Like, no, man, not hold purse. Sorry, that's so rude and stereotypical, but anyway, let's move on. Next, I don't think many people would agree with me on this placement, but remember, these are my recommendations, and I recommend Toradora as a good slice of life. To me, it's got romance aspects, but it's really just a coincidence that happens at the end, really, and there's some sweet moments in between, but mostly to me it's a fun, average life, living their high school lives, dealing with their own issues. It's a slice of life for me more than it is anything else. Comedy, drama, romance, slice of life. The slice of life aspect stands out for me the most. And yeah, it's a new school year, and Ryuji Takasu discovers that not only is he in the same class as his best friend Yusaku Kitamura, but also Minori Kushieda, whom he's had an undisclosed crush on for quite some time. Along with the two of them comes the palm-top tiger, Tiny Taiga Aisaka, and Minori's best friend. Despite her small stature, Taiga takes nothing from anybody and is secretly in love with someone. And Taiga, despite something, what? Taiga does nothing for anyone and is secretly... Oh, she's in love with Kitamura. Oh yes, now I remember. And then they try and get each other to... They both have a best friend, and then they try and help each other. That's how they start ending up... I forgot. See, I forgot the romance aspect of it, because for me, it's just a fun anime to watch and interesting characters to see them live their day-to-day lives. So yeah, it's a very popular romance though. But for me, it's not really so much romance. It's more coming of age, school, and slice of life. It even has the drama tag, and I don't remember. Oh, maybe one or two things could be considered drama, but it's a really light-hearted one, and I would recommend it for most people, even boys, because there are, like, my favorite character in the anime is Ami Kawashimi, and yeah, I still think, I'm not gonna say that because it might spoil, but anyway, this is my 5th recommendation, slice of life. And then an honorable mention is 12 Sai, which is one of those, is so fucking wholesome. It's about 12-year-old kids, right? The story begins with Hanabi, a 6th grade girl who is neither adult nor child. She's a child. She deals with issues such as accidentally witnessing her homeroom teacher kissing and worrying about experiencing physiological... It makes it sound like it could be, oh my god, this girl waking up to her sexuality. It's not fucking sexuality. It's not sexual at all. It is literally, she falls in love for the first time. It's her like getting her first boyfriend. You know how you were when you were 12, like... It's innocent. What? This is the depiction of a 12-year-old girl's innocent worries and first love. Literally that is a beautiful little slice of life. It's one of the most sliciest of lives you can get. And I just enjoyed watching it a while back. It was one of the first anime that I because there was a time when I didn't watch anime for a while, because I don't know, I was going through an existential life crisis and trying to fit into other people's boxes, what they think I should be. So I didn't watch it for a while, but this is one of the first ones that I started watching again after getting back into anime. Okay, top 5 psychological anime. My number 1 is Boogie Pop and Others, which also, I think it came out this year? 2019, yes. And I watched this live on Twitch, and it's not something that a lot of people liked because it's not the kind of thing that you watch with others. You watch it by yourself because it makes you think a lot. Obviously it's psychological. It's got a strong psychological theme, urban fantasy, philosophy, a chronological order, female protagonist, gore, aliens, multiple personalities, shunibu, drugs, agender. There's like a lot of it tackles a lot of issues, a lot of a strong philosophical themes. I really still want to read the light novel, and I actually want to. Yeah, I'd like to rewatch. I would like to read the light novel before rewatching the anime. Maybe I would try watching the alternative. I think this is the first. I don't know if like, was that a remake of that, or how does it work? I don't know. But to me, it's awesome. Drama, horror, mystery, psychological, supernatural. If you're looking for something psychological to watch, that's going to make you think, that's going to make you feel sometimes like your brain broke, this is it. Second is an older anime, but it is very good. I think this is a must watch, actually. Elfenlied. Very interesting. Action, drama, horror, psychological, romance, and supernatural. If you don't like blood, don't watch this. Very creepy. Very moments when you're like, oh, what the fuck? And it's just very good, though. The Diclonius, mutated Homo sapien that is said to be selected by God and will eventually become the destruction of humankind, possess 2 horns on their heads and have a 6th sense, which gives them telekinetic abilities. Due to this dangerous power, they have been captured and isolated in laboratories by the government. Okay, so I'm not going to read the rest, but a must-watch in my opinion. Even if you don't like horror and stuff, you kind of... No, you shouldn't. If you don't like horror, you shouldn't. But I feel like it's one of those anime like Death Note. You just have to watch it. You have to say that you've watched this, you know? But also, it really makes you feel like uncomfortable sometimes. It really... and then there's some stuff that's gonna make you probably cry if you're a person that cries easily. But the MC, I kind of disliked him, but the story itself is very interesting. Very disturbing. Okay. Third recommended, Tokyo Ghoul. I have only watched season 1. I'm currently on season 2. I've only watched the first 3 episodes of season 2. So far, I've enjoyed even season 2, even though a lot of people have said, oh, you hate season 2, but I've liked it so far. What can I say about Tokyo Ghoul? Which episode did I love so much? There's an episode that is like one of my favorite episodes in an anime ever. Like, it's top 5. Tokyo Ghoul. I think episode 8. Episode 8 was one of my top 5 episodes in any anime ever. I need to make a list because before I start adding like a 6th top 5 episode, I think there's only I only have 3 marked right now as 3 of my top 5 episodes ever. But I need to, yeah. Anyway, Tokyo Ghoul is very good. It's about humans. It's about ghouls. It's about the relationships between humans and ghouls. There's a lot to think about. Episode 8 specifically highlights one of the strongest themes for me. And it's kind of like... I don't know how to explain it without spoiling. Let me just read you like the first few lines if you haven't maybe watched this. Tokyo Ghoul. Wait, where's QRST? Why am I up here? Tokyo Ghoul. The suspense, horror / dark fantasy story is set in Tokyo, which is haunted by mysterious ghouls who are devouring humans. People are gripped by the fear of these ghouls whose identities are masked in mystery. An ordinary college student named Kaneki encounters Rize, a girl who is an avid reader like him, at the cafe he frequents. Little does he realize that his fate will change pretty soon. Okay, this is very good. The music is very good. The OST, storyline very interesting. It has a little bit of moments that'll, make you want to close your eyes. There is some gore, definitely a slight horror aspect. I mean, it doesn't, especially so far season 2. I don't know. Wait, I'm forgetting a few stuff. Nope, horror, yes, tragedy. This is good. This is good though. I think I scored it a 9 at the end of the season. Let me just double check. Season 1, Tokyo Ghoul, QRST, T 9.2. So it got a pretty high. I would round it up to a good 9 out of 10. And it is a very popular anime, so if you haven't seen it, you can know that most people that have watched this has liked it. It's got a 75% average score though. I think, because my scores are obviously biased because it deals with things I like, topics I like. I really like the characters, so obviously my scores would be biased. Like, the reason it has a 75% is because some people marked it a 10, some people marked it a 2 because they hated the genre. Like, everyone's score is personal, but that's why they show us the average and mean score, because it makes it more reliable. But I feel a 75% is 7.5 out of 10 is probably the most objective score that you're going to get. Although I think for season 1 and for the time that it came out, what year? The summer 2014. I think an 8 wouldn't be an over exaggeration, but I guess 7.5 is the most. Maybe if something could have been better in this, maybe in 10 years they should remake it and make the art style, like, they give it more depth. But there's still some moments where I felt like the animation itself was really good. And it is a dark story, so the dark undertone of it all, it does fit it. But I feel like the only thing I could imagine improving about season 1 is maybe just give the art style some depth, and I don't know, because that would give the story, it would heighten, make more prominent the, I don't know how to explain it. I hope you understand, but I would recommend Tokyo Ghoul if you're looking for a psychological anime. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kakegurui, which is about gambling, but it has a Kakegurui. Gambling is often, it's a mind game, and that's why the psychological aspect of this anime really comes to the forefront. The animation, the expressions in the anime is so interesting. I haven't watched season 2. I do want to watch it. It's got a 72% average score. Gambling, 100%. School, mostly female cast. Anti-hero, bullying, card battle, poker, delinquent, slavery. Slavery. Idol. It has a little bit of an idol aspect in one of the arcs, if you could so say. I just want to see the spoiler tag. Prominently features. I don't really see how this is a spoiler. I don't even see how that is at all relevant to the story. Maybe I forgot about that part, but it's only a 20% tag, so maybe I just missed it. But this is a must watch for me because here Vic gave it an 8.4, Maya gave it an 8.6, and Diego gave it an 8.7. Even though it has a 72% score, I really think it deserves an 8 because you know what it is you're watching. It's an anime about gambling, psychological, ecchi, mystery, and drama. I think it really deserves an 8 out of 10 because the visuals are so captivating. The characters and their interactions, the experiences that they go through, it's very captivating. It's very interesting. It's not necessarily something, it's not realistic in any sense, but in terms of what it's marked as, psychological, ecchi mystery drama, I think it really does deserve an 8. There was not one episode where I felt like I could look away or do something else. Like, it kept me interested. So definitely recommended. 5th recommendation is My Future Diary, Mirai Nikki. My Future Diary. The end is like, oh wait, when did I take the screen away? I think a little while ago. But anyway, the psychological thriller based on the manga written and illustrated by Sakae Isuno is about Yuki, a loner who's not very good with people. He prefers to write a diary on his cell phone and talk to his imaginary friend Deus Ex Machina, the god of time and space. However, Yuki soon learns that Deus is more than a figment of his imagination when he makes Yuki participate in a battle royale with 11 others. The contestants are given special diaries that can predict the future, each diary possessing a unique feature that give it both advantages and disadvantages. Within the next 90 days, the contestants must try to survive until there is only one left standing. The winner will become the new god of time and space. It is so interesting, but the end had me so confused. But that sometimes happens in psychological anime. The characters themselves and their, how do I put this, mental illnesses, I don't know how you can, their mentalities is what made this really interesting to watch, and how the mentality of them had them participating and how they went about this whole battle royale. But there were times when I felt like it could have been done better, so that's why it's 5th. I think this is an anime that also could be remade with better flow and better visuals, but it's also like kind of a legendary anime, I think, from what I know about it and how people have talked about it. And once again, if you're looking for something psychological that's going to break your brain, especially towards the end, this is a really, and she's yandere, this girl in the background. So I love yandere characters. So for me, that was a big plus. Honorable mention, Angels of Death, not as high energy, high action, little more slower. Angels of Death. Little slower, little deeper, little more abstract in terms of some stuffs, but very beautiful. Characters are great. Loved this anime. I think it has a low score, 64%, which I think it deserves, objectively, I think this deserves a 7 at least. Not at least. I think an objective 7 is more fair. 64% is a little bit low. Valentino, 54 out of 100. Diego, 8.3 out of 10. Jaspion Praerio, 6.5 out of 10. I feel like it depends, like, if you watch this because you had to kind of know that it's horror, thriller, adventure, psychological. For me, genres should also have these percentages, like, because it's, maybe some people expected thriller, horror, and adventure, and there are aspects of it, but it's a psychological anime. That's what comes to the forefront the most. And I feel like people, if they went into it expecting horror and thrills and adventure, they would have been disappointed. It's more, people need to know that it's more a psychological anime than anything else, but it does have a horror aspect. It does have some thriller aspects, but not as much as it is something that you need to think about. You just think about the characters. You need to think about, a lot of it is also, it has symbolism in it, so you need to think. Tags: anti-hero, female protagonist, assassins, gore, harem. Harem? How the fuck is it? It's only 10% marked as a harem, but okay, what is a harem exactly? Main cast features one male character plus several female characters who are romantically interested in him. What? No, this is not relevant, in my opinion. I don't remember at all. At all. Where? How? Is it a reverse harem? No. I don't think. Not romantically interested. Maybe interested in killing her, and one was maybe a little bit romantically interested in her. Oh, maybe some people thought like, nah, I don't think it should be marked as a harem. But those are my top 5 plus 1 honorable mention in psychological anime, slice of life anime, adventure anime, action anime, romance anime, drama anime, comedy. If you pick up any of these anime if you watch them at any point, sorry to fix my wig, I have really bad hair day underneath this, that's why I put on the wig today. If you watch any of these, if you were in the mood for a romance and you picked up, I don't know, why would I say romance when that is the most difficult, that was the most difficult. If you were interested in romance and you watched Bunny Girl Senpai and you enjoyed it or you didn't enjoy it, definitely comment on this video, tell me. You can tweet me at Animechan or DM me on Twitter, whatever. I would probably see a tweet before I see a DM, but definitely let me know. That would be great. If you want to recommend a top 5 in any of your favorite genres, if you have watched like a lot of action, if you want to compare your top 5 action to my top 5 action, or if you feel like maybe you would put something in a different category, definitely comment down below, so that people can also not just listen to my opinions but to yours and your recommendations. I think that would be great. And yeah, that's it for today's video, today's anime podcast. Let me know if there's any other topics that you'd like me to talk about in a future video. I'm looking to doing 3 anime podcasts per month, but when my internet is good again, I will do them live again, and it'll probably mostly go back to being discussing the anime, like the anime that I like. Let's say I posted a One Piece video that week, or a one of the seasonal anime, episode 3 came out. I'll pick like 3 biggest topics of that week, and we can discuss that. Probably wouldn't really be One Piece because I'd be too afraid of being spoiled. Because some people, they spoil and they don't mean it when they get excited and talk about something. But you get what I'm saying. When the internet is back, I will do these live again. But for now, if you have any topics that you want me to talk about, let me know. In the future, I'll do another ask me questions, and I'll answer the questions video, because there was a lot of questions that I wasn't able to get to in the anime podcast number 10, which I think is the one where I answered like a lot of questions. But yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you guys for listening to me, and once again, don't forget to leave your comments. Thank you.